come from a background of sporting. Played rugby professionally for 15 years, predominantly over in Europe, and I made a good career out of that, and then went into HR. I retired last year. Went into HR and office work, and it just probably wasn't the best. HR's a tough old gig, and then
yes.
Yeah, looked around. I've got a young family now, so the biggest thing for me was flexibility, and I'm still involved in the game. I do a bit of commentary and bit of coaching as well, so coaching a young Colts team in my area. So yeah, for me it was just about flexibility and being around my family a lot more. So
that's good.
Yeah, and when I heard about you guys and heard about Jim's group, like I was saying, I was just doing a lot of research, and my franchise has been really good, and yeah, it's been an awesome experience so far, and got out, did a bit of work, and it's been a great week. So a little bit about myself, yeah.
Office work doesn't suit you?
No, both physically and mentally, it's can be straining, but I'm used to being outdoors, and Jim's mowing was probably for me the best fit.
Well, you're also used to a fair degree of discipline in your career too, which is a good sign.
Yeah, 100%. The biggest thing with being a professional sportsman is discipline and being punctual and making sure that you're doing those 1%ers that people don't see. That's the most important thing. And my way of transferring that into this industry, or this being a franchisee, was doing your research. Massive thing is doing your homework, and people don't understand when you're playing professional sport, 90% of it is homework. You're studying the opposition, you're studying yourself, and how you can get better. And I did, like I was just saying, I reached out to a few of the franchisees out in, within the Jim's mowing, gave them a call, picked their brains about the industry, and just research. I remember I watched hours, about a week's worth of YouTubing.
Wow, okay. That must be a record of some kind.
Yeah, so I watched a lot of the videos, and the good thing for me was, after I saw the guys that you guys interviewed, I went about and tracked them down through social media, and
wow,
apologised to them and told them who I was, and they were happy to help me out. So, coming here, I even watched the Office and how it works, and
right.
Joel told me, showed me around. I said, I've seen this on YouTube, I've seen that. So, biggest thing for me was researching, and not only finding out the pros, but also the cons and the struggles it takes to become a successful franchisee.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, when I teach franchisors what to look for, how to choose good franchisees, one of the main things is research.
Yeah.
The more thoroughly somebody researches it, the better likely to be.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's in any walk of life, really. If you know what yourself are getting into. I've spoken to a few of the guys here already on site, and a lot of them are a bit hesitant. But for me, like I said, I've tried to prepare myself, not only with that research stuff, but also physically as well. So obviously working in the office, I went away from the fitness, and one thing I kept hearing from a lot of the franchisees was, your body's going to be sore for 3 to 6 months. So I kind of put myself through a little pre-season, and I'd walk 6Ks every morning. I'd do 2 cardio sessions a day leading into working with my franchisor Simon, who's been really great. And even that didn't help. I still had cramps going home, so it's a different sort of fitness. But yeah, again, I think preparing yourself for these sort of things, or for anything really, it's really important. Yeah, so I do a bit of mentoring at the moment, something we can talk about later, because I've got a few mates who have just recently retired and are looking to do and I've spoken to them, but I've also said to them, listen, I've got to get out now and let me work with my franchise there. Yeah. So
it's a good example, actually. It often goes through relationships. You find somebody who will join, and people from the same workforce or the same neighbour who will come in.
Yeah.
It's a common practice. If you make a success of it, which I'm sure you will, then it'll be attractive.
Yeah, so that's the plan. And
yeah, well, I like to have not the level of what you guys will be used to, but at least half an hour of vigorous exercise a day, running on a treadmill or playing racquetball with this guy or other people too, which is interesting. And then I also do weightlifting. I do a lot of gardening at the weekends. I even mow my own lawns at the farm with the hand mower. So you've got to keep fit. It's good for your mind as well as your body.
100%. So, and that's what I'm big on that as well. Like now that I'm come out of the office and been running up and down the yard here, so again, still trying to prepare myself for when I get out there. And yeah, so I did. yeah, I'm a bit wide different. But so the council trip, obviously the council owns it, and I went cut that to sort of hone my my skills, and I had my wife laughing at me, going, "What are you doing? That's for the council." And even other neighbours coming out, and I said, "Oh, look, I'm just doing this for extra training." So I had my gym's shirt on and mowing up and down, and yeah, got a bit of laughs, but no, it was good. It was at least I've saved. They actually told me, they said, "You should invoice the council." So I said, "Oh, I might be waiting a few years with this council."
Well, I can see you being a real star in social media for us too. I mean, it's a great story, and we'd just love to know how you're going.
Yeah, no, for sure.
The success stories are fantastic. We've done so well because it's real. People have weird ideas, how much you can earn doing this, and they're surprised on the income potential.
Yeah, 100%. I think for me, like coming into it first was more so the time with the family. Like I did hear a lot about the income and how much you can potentially earn, but I think that'll come. I think if you're good with your customers, and for me, the most important thing was being around my little wee one. I've got a little 4-year-old, well, turning 4, and again, hearing about the income stuff, it's a bonus. But yeah, now that I've heard a lot more about that stuff, it just drives me to want to do it.
When I talk to, I make a practice of ringing franchisees on big anniversary, like 10, 20 years and so forth. And the biggest story I hear when I ask them about what they were doing, some of them actually making a lot more money, and some of them have actually done well, and they've bought houses and stuff like that. They couldn't. But the most common story is, look, I make a good income, at least equivalent to what I had before, but I've seen my kids grow up.
100%. That's the one of the reasons, if not the reason why I wanted to go out and buy a franchise, was because coming from a sporting background, we're always on the road. For weeks on end, we could be away from it. So I've got a little 3-year-old, and the biggest thing for me was being part. I said to my wife, look, when I retire, I want to be close to the family. I think I owe you that, most importantly. And yes, I didn't do the first 8 months. I went to the office, did some office work, which was probably not the best, but
probably a good experience though.
100%. I learned. Look, I studied HR while I was still playing, so that kept me sort of grounded. And then, but yeah, I probably won't go back to that now. And but yeah, it was a great experience. It's something at least I can say I've done that. And I haven't left it stone unturned. So biggest thing for me, is just being around family and flexible, and obviously other things that I'm doing as well with coaching. I'm involved with a local rugby team, and I do a bit of media as well, do a bit of commentary. So again, it's a perfect setup.
Yeah. I have to ask you intend to have any more kids?
Well, we're trying. Hopefully we can. But it's.
I've got 10, as you may know, but I don't expect you to achieve that level. But it's nice to have 2 or 3.
Yeah, I'll be happy to have. We're trying for one more, so hopefully we can. He's a bit of a maniac at the moment, little 3-year-old running around. He's half the size of his mum.
But it's a great age.
Yeah.
Up till about teenagers, they're just wonderful kids. After that, they can be a little difficult for a while.
Yeah.
They're great.
No, I've heard a lot about how the older they get, the more wilder they get. But like you said, they're young now, and I want to be part of his life. And
yes,
that's the most important thing for me, is having my family. And
look, you're not wrong. I run a sizable business, but I drive my son to school and pick him up.
Yeah, so that's a dream.
Who could do that in a normal job?
No, well, I remember you saying it the other day, and so you said in your videos, some of your videos as well, and that for me was like just music to my ears, and more so about the financial rewards of it. It was more so that, and like spending time now after finishing my job and doing a bit of experience with my franchisor, who's been the best. He's been excellent and helped me get it set up. He's really, coming home, seeing my son at 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, and as opposed to getting home at 7 and he has to go to bed. So really, just it's pumped me up. Like I've been saying to Joel, I've done so much research. I'm just ready to get out there, and hopefully it all goes well for me.
Well, with your background, you could do very well actually, given your history and sense of discipline too.
Yeah.
And the hard work that's taking you to achieve what you have, and your ability to talk and communicate and so forth. I mean, look, most people who come into gyms have a good business, they make a good living. Typically, they make more than the average Australian. But there's also people who've gone way beyond that, having large businesses with many employees, or becoming franchisors, or starting new divisions. Yeah,
100%. Like I said, I've reached out to Mo, like being in Sydney, Mo, who's in Melbourne here, and obviously Dan. I got in contact with them and listening to them, but also I think the most important thing for me was everyone sees how good they are and what they've got. For me, it was picking the stories of the hard, how hard it is, because people don't really like to hear that side of things. And coming from my background, if you speak to any sort of player from my background, we always talk about the struggles and what it takes to become there. And that's a byproduct, and they've been really helpful in that sense. And again, like you said, everything's financially, all that stuff. You get workers, you get time to yourself. But the biggest thing for me was just, okay, give me the cons first before you give me the pros, because I'm sure the pros will take care of themselves.
Well, it can be tough, actually. And a lot of it's psychological. It's people who have their own business and they're not used to controlling no one else. Probably less of a problem given your background.
Yeah.
But the important thing is to keep involved.
Yeah.
Go to meetings, every meeting you could possibly can, talk to your franchisor, get to know the other franchisees.
Yeah.
Just keep on learning. Come to seminars that we run. For example, if you want to build a major business, we run seminars occasionally on how to do that with people who are successful, like Dan, showing how to.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right, and I think they're the small things, the small things that's going to sort of help get and get me on my way. So, no, really pumped about this journey, and hopefully it goes well.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks.
Good on you.
Cheers.